love people and they don't get upset. They're all over. There's gotta be 50 birds flying. And they're nesting in our birdhouse boards. But it's amazing to watch all these birds circling around our house. We've got a condo here in Lakeview Estate. We've got at least 50 purple martins. Look at this cool sunset with almost a full moon coming up. And look at the martins flying around and chirping. It's so beautiful. What a beautiful cloud formation. That's the very recognizable chirp of purple martins. That's how you can identify that they are around before you even see them. Well, this is our gourd rack for purple martins. I'm bringing you into the very end of the season. They have left now and are on their way to South America. I'm taking the houses down on the rack. They roll down on a pulley reel system, and I'm taking gourds off that are laying on the ground, and I will be emptying the gourds of the nesting debris so that when they come back next year, I will have these all put away and kept for the winter out of the weather, and next year we'll get them out early next spring, and they'll be ready for the scouts when they come to look for their new nesting grounds. It's really an amazing thing to watch, and we have so much fun with the purple martins. This is the gourd that they nest in. To the side is the opening that we can look in and check on them during the season when the fledglings are growing up, and that's where we clean out the gourds. This is the entrance for the mom and dad, and the mom and dad and one or two fledglings are raised in this small area. There's really a lot more room in here than it appears. And the nesting material varies to very light amount of pine leaves and just regular leaves to more and more pine leaves. But nothing like a regular nest that you would see with a robin or a sparrow or even a bluebird. This small, narrow opening gives protection against predators such as snakes, owls, hawks, and even raccoons. And it's a long way into the nesting area, so that if a predator does come by, you're going to have a tough time getting at the birds inside the gourd. This is their favorite type of nesting habitat over the more traditional purple martin houses that you see quite commonly all over the area. This gourd rack has 2 rows of 16 gourds each, so that's a total of 32. And last year we had every house filled, as well as our standard square purple martin house. And each of those houses, each of those nests would result in 1 to 2 offspring that will be back next year looking for their new hotel. This is all the nesting materials that came out of 2 nests. It's not much, and it was smashed really flat until I reached in with gloves and pulled it all out. It kind of fluffed it up, so it does appear more now than what it looked like in the nest. The gourds have the side opening, the front entrance, and that is the pinhole to cotter pin them onto the pole. They have air vents in the back and drain holes in the bottom, so that if any water gets in the gourd, it will drain through the bottom. All totaled, they're about the size of a medium-sized pumpkin. That's why they are called a gourd, because they are shaped like gourds. Again, with the side hole and the entrance for the birds, ventilation and drain hole and pinhole to attach it to the rail. Well, I'm sort of wrapping up getting the gourds all down, opened up, and emptied. This is how much nesting materials came out of 32 gourds. Was it 16 and 16? 32, yeah. 32 gourds, quite a bit. More than it looked like when I first opened them. I was really surprised at how soft and flat the nests were. I found a couple eggs and actually 2 dead mature birds in the nesting boxes. And the eggs look like that. Just small little white eggs. There's a finger. A little bit larger than my fingernail. And here's the other one. Oops, just broke it. It fell down to the ground. But sometimes they just don't hatch for one reason or another. And maybe that might have been the nest. No, it wasn't, because I took the nesting debris out and these 2 eggs fell out. And it was another gourd that I found, the 2 adult birds, which could be adult fledglings that somehow didn't survive. But I found their little bodies in there. So I'm washing them out now, getting ready to put them away in plastic bags for the winter. I've got the lift cranked up about halfway, and we'll be looking forward to putting them up next year.